you spoke of how we are a very comfortable generation, which is a fact.
Physically.
Physically, absolutely. And coming now to the social sector, India is progressing, but there are huge inequities over here. You have a very, very strong involvement in the social sector. First of all, I want you to comment on this, that most of us think the social sector, a few organizations will come, some NGOs will come. It's the government's responsibility. Whose responsibility is equity in this country?
See, once we have chosen democracy as a way of life, the question itself is irrelevant for me. Once you say, in the local languages we'll say this is Jananaik, that means people are the leaders. So once we say this, the question is irrelevant. Whose responsibility? There's no such thing. Yes, the government is there as a representative of our responsibility.
Absolutely. So it's yours and mine, everybody's.
Yes. So when you say we are a democratic country, there is no such thing as what is your work, what is my work. It's everybody's work as to where we take this nation. But because we are in different levels of economic, educational and understanding, and different strata of people who are in different levels of understanding, different levels of self-interest, community interest, group interest, all kinds of things. Implementing this as an ideal, yes, it's fine. But when it comes down to implementation, there will be many problems where naturally people will try to function in limited interests of their state or their community or their caste or creed, which has become the bane of our nation, where ultimately even the national parties in the world, in the country, only think in terms of, okay, how many representatives from this caste, how many representatives from that caste. We are going like this. When we are working towards a national unity, we are at the same time dividing, succumbing to today's practical realities. So there is an ideal and there is an existing reality. Constantly the leadership of the nation and the people of the country may not be aware enough, at least the informed part of the country should be striving towards achieving that, rather than succumbing to the existing realities and the practical situations. Practical situations cannot be ignored, they have to be taken into account. But if we don't strive for what we want, whether we reach there tomorrow or 25 years later, but we must be striving for it. That striving, unfortunately, I feel is without the needed focus. It doesn't have enough focus and penetration. We keep spreading our focus all the time. That's one of the reasons I feel India is not moving as fast as it could have. Because one thing I see wherever I travel in the world is the level of intellect, natural intellect in India is phenomenal. It's a cultural history of the country which has given this. Wherever they go, I meet them in different countries. They may not be, as savvy as other people, but they're smart in their own way, they survive better than others, they do better than others, almost everywhere in the world. Because there is a natural intellectual capability in the country which is something we have not capitalized on.